High up in the forest canopy live the sloth. They're known for their suspensory posture, low metabolism, and adorable faces. My exposure to sloths began at an early age while living in Panama. Though my mother was repulsed by their weirdness, I was drawn to them. My interest in sloths grew as I became older and wanted to learn more about these tiny mammals. I decided to travel back to Panama, and it was there that I encountered a rather tiny creature, the pygmy sloth.
Hi, I'm a Bradypus pygmaeus, but I prefer to go by pygmy sloth. We look a lot like our relative the brown-throated three-toed sloths. Pygmy sloths, however, are 40% lighter and 15% shorter. In 2001, we were described as a new species and are endemic to the red mangrove forest on Isla Escudo de Veraguas, the oldest and most remote island off of Panama. Even though we have been recently added to the sloth family, due to habitat loss and degradation, pygmy sloths are already considered critically endangered by the IUCN Red List. We sloths play an important role in rainforest ecosystems. We're sort of like arborists. Annually, it's estimated that 0.63% of leaf production is cropped by us. Though that may not seem like much, no other mammal is as adapted to the forest canopy like we are. In order to keep our trees healthy, sloths defecate weekly at the tree base. Our droppings slowly release nutrients into the soil, creating happy, healthy trees. Sloth dung is beneficial to more than just trees, I'll let you know. Though pygmy sloths only have one variety of moth, our waste is key to the sloth moth life cycle.
After my conversation with the pygmy sloth, I became interested in this sloth-moth relationship. I headed over to Brazil's Atlantic forest in search of the endemic Maine sloth.
Hey there, I'm a Maine sloth, or Bradypus turcatus. I'm differentiated from other sloths by the long black hair at the nape of my neck. We sloths are like miniature ecosystems. There are numerous insects calling sloth hair their home. Our most famous resident is by far the sloth moth, not to be confused with the moth sloth. Without going into specifics, I do know that female moths lay their eggs in our droppings. Once their time is at an end and the moths die, their bodies decompose and provide nutrients to the algae growing in our fur. For years, people believed we facilitated algae growth to provide camouflage, but the truth is, we sloths are pretty good at hiding in the canopy already. By cultivating our own algae, it provides us with nutrients we wouldn't otherwise have gained from eating leaves. Plant matter is rich in fiber, but quite low in digestible nutrients. Algae, compared to leaves, is 5 times higher in lipids than plant matter. We sloths are thankful for this. If you want to know more, just ask one of the moths living on my back.
Hello there. I'm a Cryptosis colopus, but most people call us sloth moths. We've got a mutualistic symbiotic relationship with sloths. Let me tell you about it. Once a week, when the sloths come down their trees to do their business, we female moths lay eggs in the poop. The eggs hatch and the larvae subsist entirely on sloth poop until they become adults. Then they fly off in search of a host sloth. Don't think it's a free ride, though. When we return to our sloths, we bring nutrients from the poop to supply ammonium to the algae growing on their backs.
After talking with some sloths, and even a moth, my journey has come...
Excuse me, may I have a word?
Oh, well, sure, I don't see why not.
Yes, hello. I'm a Hoffman's two-toed sloth, or Colopus hoffmanni, if you want to get technical. My species is pretty widely distributed all over Central and South America. Though we're strikingly similar to three-toed sloths, we're distantly related. We diverged roughly 40 million years ago, making us an extraordinary case of convergent evolution. The first and most obvious difference is the number of claws on the front limbs. As our name suggests, we've got 2 claws, or toes, as opposed to 3. A less-known difference pointing to convergence is our musculature. Three-toed sloths possess very limited cranial support, but have strong forelimbs, allowing them to spend time in the sitting position. Two-toed sloths, on the other hand, are quite the opposite. Our forelimb muscles are less developed, causing us to perpetually be upside down. This constant posture has resulted in defined neck muscles supporting the head. We two-toed sloths are also considered to be generalists. Being a generalist as opposed to a specialist makes it easier to survive in an ever-changing world, as we have a larger home range and a less restricted diet. Yes, we do eat leaves, but we're capable of digesting fruit, flowers, and animal matter. Because we're able to consume a larger variety of foods, us two-toed sloths are less dependent on algae growth to supplement our diet. Many people fail to acknowledge the deviation in sloth species when filming us. I'd like the public to understand this. We're different! Anyway, thank you for your time.
As my journey came to an end, it was time to head back home and reflect on all that I had learned. Sloths are so much more than adorable tree people. These mammals take care of their rainforests, are an incredible case of convergent evolution, and are fascinating mini ecosystems.